In 4 years I've been Attorney General, the federal government has kept us really busy, and particularly in the last couple of years, with various actions they've taken when they get frustrated with Congress trying to pass laws on various issues like immigration, environmental protection, and whatnot. And instead of continuing to work with Congress, the president just is going ahead and trying to do these in other ways, one of which is with what they call non-binding guidance letters, but then they send them with threats, and then they end up using those guidance letters as evidence to sue individuals over all manner of things. And of course, the government has, in the last couple of years, promulgated numerous regulations that are outside their authority under the statutes under which they say that they have the authority. So, we've had a number of successes. The state AGs in particular, we've been able to stop the executive order on giving a legal amnesty on immigration. We've been able to stop the illegal EPA regulations on the so-called Clean Power Plan because the courts have said those are outside the authority of the EPA. And, of course, we've stopped the waters of the U.S. Land and water grab by both the EPA and the Corps of Engineers. But, this all takes money and time, and there are plenty of things that my office can do constructively for the people of Montana if we had a federal government that didn't overreach. So we're asking Congress, there are 15 of us, state AGs, who have written to both the majority and minority leaders in both the House and Senate, saying, enough is enough. The time has come. We need to fix this, and Congress needs to pass meaningful legislation prohibiting these agencies from stepping out of bounds like this and violating the law. So we've made 4 key points about the overreach that the federal government is engaging in. They're issuing guidance documents in a way that circumvents the required notice and public comment process required by federal law. They're regulating without statutory authority, as I mentioned, and as evidence of that, pretty much every lawsuit that we've won along the way concerned legislation that people tried to pass in Congress but couldn't, which is great evidence that they knew and understood that it was only Congress that could do it. And, of course, they fail to consider the cost of these regulations and edicts and decrees to not only the states but individuals within the states. And finally, they fail to consider the effect of the regulations on the states and state law. And in essence, we have a violation of the separation of powers, a violation of the 10th Amendment. They violate the Administrative Procedures Act, which is a thoughtful way to try to do some of these things where we get notice and comment. People can really chime in. And a lot of what they do is just really arbitrary and capricious. So it's risen to a level of urgency that we felt we needed to write this letter to Congress, and we should continue to beat the drum. Otherwise, we'll be filing lawsuits in court, and of course we'll be winning because we're on the right side of the law. But that's just not the way that our founders wanted our government to work. So I'm cautiously optimistic that something might be done. We may have to wait till the next president is in office before it actually gets done.